Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a beautiful and fabulous day. Today, I am excited because today is the official kickoff of my podcast, The Inspirational Corner. And I am so happy because this podcast has been in the making since 2016. And during that time, I know for me, it just wasn't the right time. I had the idea to do a podcast, but so many other things were going on in my life. It just the timing was just off, and so this year, the timing is just right for me to start my podcast, and I'm really excited about that because I will be able to have a platform to share with you certain things and to be inspired. And so today is just a quick introduction of what the Inspirational Corner is, who I am as your host, and some, small things and details of my background. So, first of all, the Inspirational Corner is the title of my blog. And if you're not familiar with my blog, you can go to www.theinspirationalcorner.net to get more information on the Inspirational Corner. So, this podcast will basically be a lifestyle podcast, inspiring women to live bold, loud, and authentic lifestyles without apology. I want you to go into the world and be you unapologetically, taking up space and leaving an imprint on the world. This podcast is used to inspire, uplift, and encourage women to tap into a soul fulfilling journey of healing, happiness, and wholeness. And the reason my focus is women tapping into a journey of healing, happiness, and wholeness because I've been there where I have had personal things happen to me and I never faced them, I never discussed them, and I kept on moving. And as women, we take care of everybody else. But most of the time, we put our needs, what we desire, on the back burner. Our dreams, the things we want to do, we'll put those things on the back burner to take care of our family, to take care of friends. We are always somebody's psychologist, therapist, and everything under the sun. We wear so many hats and have so many roles. And so in 2011, I hit a stump in my life and I was going through so many things. And truly, God started me on this journey of my life, and I call it my authentic journey. It was the authentic journey, and I started in 2011. There were so many things on the inside of me that I was dealing with. First of all, in 2007, I lost my 2 year old, my youngest daughter, my 2 year old daughter. And that impacted me and my oldest daughter so much. And I didn't deal with the anger, I didn't deal with the pain. And so I just pretty much was functioning through anger and bitterness. I didn't address her death. I didn't face my healing and I didn't get help for my healing until later on in my journey. And I had other issues also from my past that were like swept under the rug that was just piling on. And when my daughter passed away in 2007, when my 2 year old daughter passed away in 2007, that just pushed me over the edge and I became a totally different dark person. And so with that said, I can understand as a woman going through so many things and having internal pain and not facing it and not dealing with my internal issues, but still trying to be the best person and take care of my daughter and take care of my household as a single mother and having the world on my shoulders and not really able or really not understanding how can I give back to myself. So from my personal experience, this platform is used to help women understand how important it is to tap into their inner issues and to heal from those issues and to understand there is happiness for you and you can be whole. You don't have to go through this world being broken it is God's will for us to be whole. And the different topics on this podcast will range from various perspectives concerning the modern day woman, which is you. A lot of the subjects I will be taking from my blog called the Inspirational Corner, and some of the topics will be curated from my personal experiences. Like I said before, I have experienced a personal life experience from mental, excuse me, I can't talk today. Mental, emotional, physical abuse and verbal abuse, as well as rape, being sexually harassed, being a single mom, and dealing with mental health issues such as PTSD. My mission is to empower women by educating them on subjects on love, loss, and living the life you desire. I think it's very important for you to live the life you desire and not hold back on living your life purpose and to be happy. We get one life, but we can live so many different versions of our lives. And I think it's important to be happy, to live life full of joy. I don't believe in living my life always fighting and going through and believing that's the only way I can be blessed by. I'm always going through something. I used to feel like that because like the last decade of my life, not being with my family, not, finishing the one part of my life and being in a place where I'm not really familiar with and it's really not my cup of tea, living somewhere that was not my cup of tea, but having to evolve through the different things I had to deal with the place that I was living at and not having family to depend on and just to kind of be there for me. So with that said, I want to let you all know who I am. My name again is Stylisha Bowden. I was born in Detroit, Michigan. I started creative writing when I was about 8 years old. I wrote poems, plays, short stories, and songs throughout my childhood. And I enjoyed doing that. And I also enjoyed teaching as well. We used to, when I was young, we used to play rock teacher. Some of you, if you around my age, you'll remember rock teacher and relay racing and all that outside. And I enjoyed stuff like that. But I truly enjoyed writing because writing was a way for me to express myself when I couldn't verbally get the words to express myself. So during the time while I was in high school, I went through my ups and downs like any young woman, any young lady that really don't know who she is. And um, before the end of my high school year, pretty much, well, I was finishing up high school and I worked a little bit while I was still in Detroit because I lived on the east side of Detroit. But I knew there was more to life than the east side of Detroit. And something better and something different for my life. Um, I was raised in a household with two parents. My mom and dad married for 40 plus years. And in 2016, my dad passed away. And so that impacted my family very, very hurtfully. It impacted us a lot. And with that said, I have two brothers, an oldest brother and a little brother. And we just grew up with the idea of family being important. And our parents taught us to enjoy life. My whole childhood is about music because growing up in Detroit, Motown, where music was like a big part of my childhood. So many great singers have came from Motown, and the Motown sound, Gordy Berry, and my parents taught us about music in the 50s, 60s when they were growing up. Smokey Robinson, Nancy Wilson, the Temptations. My dad loved the Temptations, so because music was a big part of my life, I relate to music so much because it draws me back to my childhood when I had good times and bad times. Certain artists, certain music draw me back to my childhood, and I love it because as a family we had our ups and downs, but music brought joy and inspiration to my family and made us a close knit family. And so with that said, I wanted to do something for my life and I wanted something better. And college just was not working for me at the time. I wasn't going to college for the right reasons. I say that. And so I decided to join the military. Um, in 1998, I decided to join the military a year after I got out the high school. And that joining the military was the greatest thing I could ever do for my life. And everything that the military did for me and the foundation it gave me, I don't regret. And I was able to travel abroad. I spent most of my time living and traveling overseas. And I enjoyed the diverse culture, diverse people, and diversity as a whole, meeting new people and new things. And so my outlook was different because most of my majority of my military career was living overseas. And when I came back to the states, I was shell shocked because I had a different perspective of what life was really supposed to be. So coming back to the states as I was finishing up my military career, life started to hit me, and I realized that coming back to the states, was it the right or wrong thing? I'm still not sure. I don't I miss overseas a lot. I do. I miss international living. But with that said, in what 2007, I hit a brick wall in my life. My 2-year old passed away. Um and that shook me and my oldest daughter life forever, and that changed my life forever. But before that, I was starting to write my first literary work, which was poetry. And even though when she passed away, I continued to go ahead and continue to write my book. And from that, I believe 6 to 7 other books have emerged from me starting that self-publishing journey as an author. um the majority of my books are poetry. One of them, well, two of them are self-help books, and one of them is a romantic suspense short story. And my newest book will be a spinoff from my short story romantic suspense book called A Strange Love. So I'm excited about that. So with my journey, I have appeared on numerous blogs, radio, and TV shows. I was featured in Essence. I appeared in Essence the February, April, and July 2012 issue. One of my poems was featured on my Black is Beautiful website. And in 2014, probably way before that, I think in 2011, 2012, I stopped doing poetry. I needed to take a step back and to kind of reflect on where I was and where I wanted to go. And I didn't want to put myself in a box because I know I'm more than just one thing. And poetry was a great thing, but that wasn't what I truly loved doing in my writing, because I knew I had other gifts in my writing to display to the world. And so I took a step back, and then in 2014 I ventured out, and I was able to attend a writing workshop in Paris, which enhanced my writing technique. Paris writing workshop, Paris as a whole changed my life. It changed the way I looked at the world. It just changed. It was an experience nonetheless. And I came back with a different perspective. And then in 2016, I put out Red Lips and Stilettos, A Girl's Guide to Self Confidence. It was just the ebook. And that was my reinvention and coming back to the writing scene. So, with all that, my credentials lie in having a bachelor's in business administration, having an MBA. I also have 3 certificates, one for professional writing, one for marketing and branding, and one for entrepreneur and leadership. And with these different aspects of who I am and what I have going on, the majority of what I do is truly to inspire others and let them know, just because you are having issues or challenges and circumstances does not mean that you cannot live your dream. With everything that I've discussed with you today about the Inspirational Corner and who I am, I've been through so many things in my life. And to know that this once little girl had a dream of being a writer. Now I'm living my dream, having a dream of traveling the world and living the life of lifestyle and lifestyles of the rich and famous. Because I used to always watch with Robin Leach. I used to always watch that when I was young. And to know that I have 2 degrees, a bachelor's and a master's. I have 3 certificates and working on the fourth one. And knowing that I have self-published all these books I'm an author, I'm a writer, I'm a blogger, I'm a speaker, and I'm a poet, and I have all these different titles in my life now. And I'm also working on other things as I'm expanding myself and just expanding in my lane. And I want to leave you with this. There's a famous quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. And this is one of my favorite quotes because sometimes we limit ourselves in lives because we allow our past to hold us back, or we'll worry so much about the future, and we water down, discredit, and downplay our greatness because of what other people say. We're not working a 9 to 5 ideal job to make other people happy. We're trying to people please, whether it's family, friends, society, and we're not living our authentic life. We're not living a true lifestyle and being true to the essence of who God created us to be. And in order for you to break out of that box, you have to have confidence and believe in yourself and be bold. And I'm saying this because I've been through it and I have journeyed, and I'm still going through a journey of having confidence, believing in my writing, believing in the different business opportunities that I'm taking, believing in myself. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. And being an entrepreneur for myself wasn't easy because I'm not a traditional 9 to 5er. I just kind of like to live life on my own terms. When I got out the military, really before I got out the military, that's what I wanted to do. I got tired of working for somebody else and making other people rich. I wanted to spend time working on my passion, and the purpose and the skills and the talents that God has given me to give back to the world. So with that said, I want to leave you today with a quote. And the quote is by Eleanor Roosevelt, and it says this: "The purpose of life is to live it, to taste experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for newer and richer experience." So today I challenge you to live life, to taste it, to experience every aspect of life, the good, the not so good, and the in between, and to eagerly, without fear, procrastination, and excuses, to reach for newer and richer experiences and to experience your life in the fullness. Ask yourself right now, how am I experiencing life? Am I living life or existing in it? So, thank you for listening in today. This was my introduction to my new podcast, The Inspirational Corner. If you want more details on what the Inspirational Corner is about, go to www.theinspirationalcorner.net. I'm so excited, you all, that I took the plunge and I'm doing this podcast. So stay tuned for more. And I'm wishing you a blessed and a beautiful day, and live bold, live loud, and live authentically.